Hello, everyone. Welcome to Learning AI with V. Listen, if you're not using AI for work, I really don't know what you're doing. Come on in here. I'm going to show you what I've learned while trying to draft an onboarding plan. I am in human resources, so a lot of what I will share will be HR related, but the prompts and things that I will go over will be relevant for anyone to use, okay? No matter what job you're in. So, onboarding plan, meaning onboarding of new employees, getting them acclimated into the business, that whole thing. Okay, so that's what I mean by onboarding plan. I've been asked to improve it. And so I started with just that. I have been asked to create a better, more consistent onboarding plan from hire to termination. I was given this onboarding checklist as reference, but I want to start drafting an outline of the onboarding flow, from the offer letter to how to use the HRIS system to the orientation, all of that. So I was telling it what I kind of want in the onboarding plan. And then I asked it, what should this look like from a logistical point of view? I don't really even know what I meant by that. I'm going to be real. I want to also have emails drafted, templates drafted so that I can send to employees as I go through different parts of the onboarding with them. And then I'm going to give you this tip just right off the bat. Please help me to start an outline for this. And if you have questions for me so that you can better understand the request, please ask. Ask AI to ask you questions so it can better understand your requests. Okay, do that. That's number one right there. It's been very helpful for me. So with what I gave it, it gave me a very basic onboarding plan. You give it basic prompts, it's going to give you basic answers, okay? And then it did ask me questions, 8 here. You can limit the amount of questions that it asks you. You can say 5, 3. Depending for what you need it for, you might not want it asking you 10 questions, okay? So you can limit the amount of questions. But then I uploaded our current onboarding plan to just give it more information. And then I answered all of its questions. It just wanted more context, right? What's the typical size of your new hires? Are there any industry specific regulations? The average length of your onboarding process? Okay, wanted more information. I gave it some information. And then it spit out a onboarding plan that was a little bit more relevant for what I needed it for, okay? And then it started spitting out these email templates that I asked it for, which is nice. So I'm going to stop right there and go back up. What could I have done better? Okay, let's start with context. I would have gave this thing context. For example, what I mean by that, I'm an HR professional. This is the type of industry I work with. Give it the objective. This is what I need it for. Give it as much. For example, one of the things I thought about was, okay, we hire W-2 and consultants, so I need this onboarding plan to include both of those types of, employees. So I ended up adding that later on, and it changed it for me. It updated it, made it more relevant for that. But from the beginning, try to think as much as you can about the company, about what you need it for. Give it as much context as you can. You will think of things later on, so I'm not saying think of everything from the get-go, because this should be a conversation and you should build upon that conversation. So it's okay to add things later as you think about it, but try to give it more context from the very beginning. It's going to be very helpful for you to do that from the get-go. And then, the questions, again, is always a good thing. Eventually, I got down to the format. That's another thing. You want to tell AI what format you want your responses in. Eventually, I told it, okay, I have my onboarding plan. I like what we've come up with. Put it in a table format for me. And the first one I didn't like. The first couple I didn't like. So I told it, like, here, is there a more comprehensive way to add the outline into table format? not sure that I like what you put there. And then, take this out, put this in, move this around. You can tell it what you want. And then it started spitting out a few more tables, and I ended up with one that I liked that I'm currently using. So format is also going to be important. And then we've kept having conversations. What I've been doing is building upon each phase. Like, let's build upon phase 1 of the onboarding plan, and let's move to phase 2. You want to keep going phase by phase so that you can keep building your plan up until you get to how you want it. So definitely this should be a conversation with AI. It should be an extension of your brain. You shouldn't just copy and paste and just go with that as your final answer. You should edit it, put that human touch in there, and just keep building upon it until you get the end result that you're looking for. Those are my tips from this first video. My goal is that you will learn from me. Hopefully I get to a point where I'm learning from you and we're having those discussions. Hopefully you'll watch my next video and we'll continue learning from each other, and we'll see you at the next video. Bye.